I'd say one of the toughest things about breakaways would be to match the player's speed on a turnover. Our defense are in the corner, and we go to pass it, a stretch pass, and it gets picked.
Okay.
That happens sometimes, and just we're on the back of our goal line, so coming out, grabbing ice is hard, so we can't grab too much.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's work on it. And I think it's about how do we generate speed backwards without having a lot of time, and how do we do it without a ton of foot movement? You get out here in any way, shape, or form, whether it's like a double C cut or you just want to T-push out, and then focusing on making sure that the head doesn't fall in front when you're drifting back, which is a tough thing I find for a lot of goalies, because then you start to kind of get the weight to fall in front of the toes. But working on, can I just like push the glutes back a little? Now, at times we will kind of get on our heels a little, right? Like oftentimes when we push the hips back, the heels do flare out. So we have to mitigate that to some degree, and we have to try to get the toes to square up right after we get that momentum backwards and maintain flexion through the legs. So that's what we'll work on, is work on you coming out real quick and then being able to just like push a little bit more weight through the hips, almost like you're trying to get a little bit more weight through the balls of the feet. Because it is interesting, like when we come out, we drift out, the weight's in the heels. When we're drifting back, the weight's more on the toes. All right? So, good. Push the hips. Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Go. Good. Two more. Not bad. Just keep the nose over top of that puck. Not bad. Keep the head going. Excellent. Excellent. Act like you're drifting back for a sec. Okay, so you're pushing your hips. Okay, now pause there for a sec. So what we'll see with Landon, or what we're seeing with Landon, is he's able to drift back, but keep the glutes engaged, which supports that upper body lean. If unfortunately the glutes are not engaged, you'll see the body fall forward and you'll see the legs almost lock out a little. That's usually when the lower back is supporting this posture rather than the hips and obviously the larger muscle groups in the legs. So hold that stance again, okay? And then you'll see his feet not moving. So as I start to skate into this space, as the player skates in, Landon's feet are quiet. He is drifting back. He's already got momentum and speed. Now he can be quiet and wait for the player. If Landon is coming back, and while this guy is skating in from a good, 8 to 6 feet, if his feet are loud and moving, so let's say you're C-cutting here, then we get into some trouble, okay? It's always going to be the head and the hands and the hips that end up kind of orienting us to where that guy is dragging that puck. So show me your stance there. So if I'm taking it and committing to that trapper side, you'll see how the head stays over top of the puck, the glove starts to flare out and open up, and then that knee drops. Exactly. You won't see Landon reach with the leg. Unfortunately, if he reaches with the leg, the body, the torso, most of our mass goes in the opposite direction. Okay, we'll do one to the blocker side here. Good. Wait for me to go. All good. Excellent. Good. When do we actually commit? Obviously, it's the player's job to be deceptive, and it's our job to be patient, but there is a time where we actually have to commit. If I'm coming in and I'm deking here, he stays patient. Okay, I'm not showing anything, okay, unless I end up opening up that blade and he may need to drop because I'm putting weight on it, but he will not commit into a butterfly slide until I take that puck to the outside of his lead hand. All right, let's do one to the glove here. Excellent, excellent. So one last thing, when it comes to our gap, just like a defenseman, we need to make sure we have a decent gap between us and the puck or the player. So if that puck or that gap is too short, it's very easy for them to be deceptive and get us a bite because obviously the puck is in pretty close range, and it's very easy for the player to just kind of push the puck to the side of our body. Okay? If we are too far away from the puck, there's almost too much net to shoot at. Okay, so we'd like to have, again, a decent gap of about a stick length between us and that puck when we're around the top of the crease. I think this is a good depth or gap for you, because if I were to shoot here, you have a ton of coverage. If I were to pull and commit, you have a ton of time and space to read and react. Perfect.